DMK, also Samajwadi Party, BSP, Congress, and also a few political parties from down south. At least 12 opposition political parties have joined hands to protest against the government, and they are the one who have been demanding a thorough discussion on the China debate. As we are speaking, the protest is right now underway at the Gandhi statue, where they are holding placards like, when will the government break its silence on the China issue? Why detailed discussion is not taking place on this entire matter? They're also asking that why not detailed debate also took place on the floor of the House when Rajnath Singh made the statement on the China clash issue. In fact, they are also stressing upon the fact that Prime Minister should also be present, and in front of Prime Minister, detailed discussion should take place on this very issue. But the point here is that when the government has already made a thorough statement and has clarified what our forces did and how did we pushed back the China forces, why political parties continue to do politics, that's the big question. As we are speaking, Sonia Gandhi is also present there. The likes of Manish Tiwari, Rajiv Shukla, leaders from DMK, and also leaders from Samajwadi Party, they are present. And as we are speaking, the protest is still on there at Gandhi statue right in front of Parliament.
Absolutely. Do stay with us, Piyush. Of course, pictures on your screen are coming to you from outside Parliament. This is the Gandhi statue area where political parties led by the Congress are protesting against the government. They want the government to discuss what happened in Tawang with opposition parties. We are also continuously bringing you voices of various leaders. But let's quickly listen into a report that was filed by Piyush earlier.
12 opposition political parties led by Congress party are right now protesting right in front of Mahatma Gandhi statue in Parliament. Right behind me you can see the visuals of these political parties who are now getting out of this protest march. But we can also show you as to how Sonia Gandhi has also joined this protest. They are raising slogans inside the Parliament, and they are demanding from the government on the issue of Parliament. You can see how the likes of Manish Tiwari, Rajiv Shukla, P. Chidambaram, Sonia Gandhi all have now joined this protest march. Mr. Tiwari, what is this protest all about? If you can tell us, what is this protest all about?
This is to demand a discussion in Parliament on China. That's what the protest is all about.
The government is saying that a detailed statement has already been made on the floor of your house.
I think there's a distinction between a statement and a debate. Demanding is a debate in the House.
So the opposition political parties are now demanding a discussion, they are demanding a debate. You can also see as to how they are holding multiple placards. Sonia Gandhi can also be seen in this protest which is right now underway here inside the Parliament.
Well, senior opposition leaders, of course, are joining this protest. Pictures on your screen are of all these opposition parties, which are about 12 in number, who have now joined this protest. Now, the only party that seems to be missing.
I mean, the silliness and the pettiness of the government is clearly shown from these kind of actions they are trying to take against the Bharat Jodo Yatra, which is obviously having an impact on the ground.
Talking about is any flights related to China, not to direct flight we have, but related to China via China flights to be monitored strictly in India?
See, I really do not know the ground reality in China. China is a tremendously opaque society. We really do not know what's happening there. Their information is not very open. They don't really communicate about what's really happening. But this is really up to our diplomatic corps to give a correct update to the government here about the situation in China, and then to take appropriate steps. We definitely do not want to have another breakout of the pandemic in India, and we should do everything we can to prevent it. But I really do not know the ground reality of what's happening in China.
Thank you so much.
Karthi Chidambaram over there talking about, I think he began by talking about the letter that's been written by the Health Minister to Rahul Gandhi over the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Of course, the Congress party says that the government seems overly worried about the numbers it's attracting. But apart from that, of course, there is also the fact that there is a surge in COVID numbers. But just coming back to what you're seeing on your screens right now, this is a protest that's taking place outside of Parliament. Opposition parties joining in this protest. The Congress party, of course, leading it. Sonia Gandhi was also present, as was Mallikarjun Kharge. The opposition wants a debate. The government says a statement has been made. You are watching Republic TV. We slip into a very short break. On the other side, we bring you more news. We also get you the latest on the COVID situation. The Union Health Minister will be reviewing the COVID-19 situation as cases witness a surge in multiple countries. And in context of the Shraddha Walkar murder case, Devendra Fadnavis says Maharashtra is studying love jihad laws in other states.
Your favorite service provider, 10, which gets you the best of entertainment, is back with something very special.
अभी मजा आएगा ना भिड़ो.
Your 3 favorite movie channels are bringing in super blockbuster films with features like wider picture and crystal clear sound straight to your home.
Wow. Oh, I love that expression.
To subscribe to your favorite channels, contact your local cable TV operator today or call 10 toll-free number 1-800-419-2020 now.
Here, gravity and physics don't call the shots, and sound travels slower than you. This is a different kind of place. That's why we're looking for different kind of people, for whom excellence is not a job, but a way of being, be it in the sky or on the ground. We are looking for an invincible team of invincible people. People who are a cut above.
Join the Indian Air Force to be a cut above.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता, उछलता है, दौड़ता, कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
Hey Rahul, what's up?
Hey, kicked about our first date?
Of course.
Benefits up to rupees 30,000. Only at the Citroën C3 Carnival. Book today.
टाइम पे खा लेना. और कल सुबह अपॉइंटमेंट है. भूलना मत.
अरे 2 दिन के लिए तो जा रहे हो.
हाँ, लेकिन ख्याल तो पूरी जिंदगी रखूंगा ना.
HDFC Life Annuity Plans के Joint Life Feature के साथ रखिए अपनों का ख्याल हमेशा. HDFC Life, सर उठा के जियो.
झाके रे झाके झरोके से झाके, देख के दंग है छोटे बड़े सारे. झाके रे झाके फ्यूचर को ये ताके, तरक्की को टुक टुक हर कोई ताके. झाके रे झाके.
Reimagineering brighter futures with smarter steels. ArcelorMittal, Nippon Steel India. Smarter steels, brighter futures.
Magnificent picture, magnificent sound, magnificent experience. Magnifique, high-performance TVs by Aiwa Japan, now in India.
लगभग 8% से ज़्यादा 8.6% ट्राइबल पॉपुलेशन है. उनकी 2011 की जनगणना की हिसाब करें तो ये लगभग 10.5 करोड़ आबादी होते हैं. ये थोड़ा अभी बढ़ के 13-14 करोड़ हुई होगी. 700 से ज़्यादा जनजाति समुदाय है देश में. ये कंटिन्यूस प्रोसेस है. कई लोगों को राज्य सरकार, RGI, उसके बाद पार्लियामेंट के एंडोर्समेंट में जोड़ा भी जाता है. अभी भी इसी सेशन में कुछ ऐसे ही विषय को जोड़ा गया और उनमें से 75 प्रिमिटिव ट्राइब्स है.
The COVID situation in China has raised an alarm in India as well. The centre has even written to the states now over the COVID situation and the need to increase surveillance in all states. Not just this, the Union Health Minister is all set to chair a meet at 11:30 a.m. today. We'll get you all that and more on the other side of this very short break.
Life will test you. It will turn your world upside down. Again. And again. And again. The only way to hit back is to stand up. Stand up every time. And say, I'm not done.
पेंशन है तो टेंशन नहीं। एनपीएस में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है।
বাহ, বাইরে সিকিউরিটি আর নিজের বাড়িতে এইসব।
दादा बचा लिया आपने।
बेफिक्र कोलकाता जाओ, इंटरव्यू अच्छा ही होगा।
हर बंद राह ओपन हो सकती है, लगता है सिर्फ दिल। एक्सिस बैंक, दिल से ओपन।
Volkswagen Tygoon, India's safest SUVW.
Volkswagen.
Tonight, a murder will be committed. If anyone can name the killer, that person wins our game.
This is truly delightful.
Holy
There has been a murder. For one person, this is not a game. The killer wouldn't hesitate to kill again.
You must be really great at clues.
I'm very bad at dumb things.
Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery.
A quick look at what else is making news across the world. This morning, after an opinion poll on Twitter asking users if he should step down as the CEO, Elon Musk has tweeted that he will resign as the CEO as soon as he finds someone what he called foolish enough to take on the job. And after that, he stated that he would just run the software and servers teams. Reports suggest that the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is planning a visit to Washington on Wednesday and may meet the US President Joe Biden at the White House and visit the US Congress. Female students have been banned from private and public universities in the latest edict cracking down on women's rights and freedoms. Despite initially promising a more moderate rule respecting rights for women and minorities, the Taliban have widely implemented their strict interpretation of Islamic law. The US State Department has slammed the Taliban after the Afghan government banned women from private and public universities in Afghanistan. The Taliban have banned girls from middle school and high school, restricted women from most employment and ordered them to wear head-to-toe clothing in public. Women are also banned from parks and gyms.
Imposing accountability measures on the Taliban, and I suspect, just as we have coordinated with this messaging, many of our partners will be doing the same.
The Democratic-controlled House Ways and Means Committee has voted along party lines to publicly release a report on years of Donald Trump's tax returns, which the former president has long tried to shield. Now that lawmakers have voted to move forward with plans to release the returns, it's unclear how quickly that would happen.
This committee should always be voting and knowing exactly what we are releasing, certainly in text and to the public. In the second point, maybe a more practical one, can you please advise us now on what, now that these documents will be made public, what members of Congress may say when this business meeting concludes?
Pharmaceutical companies in China are working at full capacity to increase medicine supply as more people are getting infected with the fast-spreading Omicron virus. Pharmaceutical companies in central China's Hunan province are operating 24 hours a day to increase the output. At the same time, in Beijing, companies are operating 24 hours non-stop delivery to ensure medicine could be delivered within 4 hours. Migrants have gathered at the Mexico-US border as the pandemic-era restrictions were due to expire. Tensions remained high at the border amid uncertainty over the future of restrictions, with the Biden administration asking the Supreme Court not to lift curbs before Christmas. A powerful earthquake that residents have described as violent rocked a rural stretch in Northern California coast, leaving 11 people injured and 70,000 without power as a rainstorm was about to roll in. A parade to celebrate the Argentine World Cup champions was abruptly cut short as millions of people poured into thoroughfares, highways and overpasses in a chaotic attempt to catch a glimpse of the national team that won one of the greatest World Cup finals of all time. And fans clashed with police in Buenos Aires after a day of celebrations for the national soccer team's return home with the World Cup trophy. Clashes started after police moved to arrest several fans who had broken into the obelisk monument. Fans hurled stones and glass bottles at police as they counter-attacked with rubber bullets and water cannons. You are watching Republic TV. On the other side, the Union Home Minister is to review the COVID-19 situation as cases witness a surge in multiple countries. And in the context of the Shraddha Walkar murder case, Fadnavis says Maharashtra is studying love jihad laws in other states.
Why did life test me? Why did it try to crush me, shake me, break me? Why me? Because it knew if I could take this test, I could take anything and say, that was easy.
Guys, just 1 second. Choosing a car for my mom.
What? Online car shopping? Wow, that's so cool, yeah.
Shahrukh ne bataya.
Wait up. Booking a car service.
From here.
क्यों? तुझे शाहरुख ने नहीं बताया?
इसने पूछा ही नहीं. There's so much more जो शाहरुख ने नहीं बताया. It's all on the industry first My Hyundai app. Open a world of possibility with My Hyundai app. One app, many worlds.
आज की पेशकश
अच्छी है, पर ये चाय रोज मिलेगी?
रिटायर होने वाला हूँ, रोज नहीं, लाइफ लॉन्ग मिलेगी, ये मेरी गारंटी है।
कुछ चीजों का साथ हमेशा होना चाहिए, जैसे HDFC Life Annuity Plans, जो दे lifelong monthly guaranteed income. HDFC Life, सर उठा के जियो.
India welcomes those who further India's pride across the globe. Indian diaspora, partners of New India's growth journey in Amritkal. Come and be a part of the 17th Pravasi Bharati Divas from 8th to 10th January 2023 at Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. For registration, log on to pbdindia.gov.in.
अगर मिठाई जंक फूड से है यारी, तो डायबिटीज की कर लो तैयारी.
Get Beto's Diabetes Care Program with a free glucometer and expert advice. Give a missed call on 740 1100.
The vibe will feel
outside a liquor factory in Ferozpur demanding to shut down the liquor factory. Punjab police lathi charging on these farmers who've gathered in large numbers.
Karnataka's Gadag district, where a teacher allegedly thrashes a 10-year-old schoolboy to death.
In Telangana, Sirunagar, students of a government junior school staged protest demanding the education minister and the government to provide toilet facility inside the college.
Here's top headlines right now. Chinese troops push back. Government sends record trade, but opposition politics continues. In fact, Mandavia writes to Rahul Gandhi and Gehlot says follow COVID norms or stop all the yatras. Brazen violation of COVID norms at Rahul's Yatra. BJP now calls it COVID Jodo Yatra. Union Health Minister to review COVID-19 situation as cases witness surge in multiple countries. NIA reports make sensational disclosure, says PFI members linked to ISIS and the Al-Qaeda. Another regressive move by the Taliban bans women from universities and higher education. Viewers, a very, very good morning. You're watching Republic TV, India's #1 news channel. I'm Shivangi Shukla. We're getting you all the top updates this Wednesday. Let's start off what's happening right now. The Congress president and leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, and other opposition parties staged a protest near the Gandhi statue outside the parliament, demanding a discussion of Tawang face-off. This is big news we're getting for you right now, where the Congress, the opposition, is protesting outside the parliament as we speak right now. And they're demanding, remember, they're demanding a discussion on Tawang. In fact, a lot of times the houses have been adjourned over discussion on Tawang. But right now we're seeing a massive showdown there by the opposition, where they are going ahead and they are making this entire issue political. As our soldiers, remember, had fought off the Chinese off the border, they had pushed them back, but the opposition's politics continues. We're getting this report by our colleague. Let's play that out.
12 opposition political parties led by Congress party are right now protesting right in front of Mahatma Gandhi statue in Parliament. Right behind me you can see the visuals of these political parties who are now getting out of this protest march. But we can also show you as to how Sonia Gandhi has also joined this protest. They are raising slogans inside the Parliament and they are demanding from the government on the issue of Parliament. You can see how the likes of Manish Tiwari, Rajiv Shukla, P. Chidambaram, Sonia Gandhi all have now joined this protest march. Mr. Tiwari, what is this protest all about? If you can tell us, what is this protest all about?
Protest is to demand a discussion in Parliament on China. That's what the protest is all about.
The government is saying that a detailed statement has already been made on the floor of your house.
I think there's a distinction between a statement and a debate. What we are demanding is a debate in their house.
So the opposition political parties are now demanding a discussion. They are demanding a debate. You can also see as to how they are holding multiple placards. Sonia Gandhi can also be seen in this protest which is right now underway here inside the Parliament.
सबसे पहले सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा तो इंडिया चाइना का इशू है। इतने सारे बॉर्डर डिस्प्यूट्स चल रहे हैं और हमारी सरकार जो है किसी तरीके की जवाबदेही जो होनी चाहिए वो तय नहीं हो पा रही है। हम बार बार कह रहे हैं इस पर चर्चा होनी चाहिए। एक तरफ चाइना हम पर वार कर रहा है, हमारे सैनिकों को आकर बार बार बॉर्डर पे कन्फ्रंट कर रहा है। दूसरी तरफ हमारा ट्रेड व्यापार जो बढ़ रहा है चाइना के साथ, सेकेंड लार्जेस्ट पार्टनर ट्रेडिंग पार्टनर हमारा है तो चाइना है। 29% इंक्रीज़ हुआ है पिछले 8 सालों में। गलवान के बाद उम्मीद थी कि ये ट्रेड ख़त्म होगा, पर वो ट्रेड और बढ़ा है। तो ये सवाल पूछना लाजमी है कि आप एक तरफ आत्मनिर्भर भारत की बात करते हैं, दूसरी तरफ हम बॉर्डर पे इस तरीके का विवाद देख रहे हैं और आप इसके बारे में चर्चा नहीं करने दे रहे हैं। क्या हमारे सैनिकों को और हमारी सैनिकों की तरफ जिम्मेदारी नहीं है कि वो बार बार बॉर्डर पे लड़ रहे हैं, निहत्ते कभी कभी लड़ते हैं, कभी मुश्किलों का सामना कर रहे हैं और हमारी जो सरकार है उनकी किसी तरीके की जवाबदेही नहीं दे रही।
From the beginning of the session, the Chinese aggression, which was not actually duly attended, had been the uproar from the opposition party, and everybody from the opposition party demands that it has to be dealt with iron hands. And the minimum demand that our leader, floor leader, had put to the party, legislative speaker, is that we should be allowed a discussion on it, and we were not allowed on it. So the major protest is regarding the throat of democracy being not allowed to voice their opinion. Also, Chinese aggression is not an easy thing to be dealt with diplomatic ties or talks or whatever it is. So it had to be dealt with iron hand, and the recent aggression is needed to be addressed in the G20 summit also. So our DMK party leader, respected Mr. Talapati, has instructed our party members as well as the floor leader to take up this cause and raise this issue, and this protest is to voice our united opinion that why weren't we allowed to talk or discuss regarding this in the
चाइना के मुद्दे पे सरकार फेलियर है और अपने बातों से छिपाने के लिए, अपने फेलियर को छिपाने के लिए वो सदन में चर्चा नहीं कराना चाह रहे हैं, जिसके लिए पूरा विपक्ष एकजुट होकर उनसे डिमांड कर रहा है और आज गांधी स्टैचू पे हम प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं।
वहीं स्मृति ईरानी जी का कहना है कि एलिगेशन लगाया है उन्होंने।
All right, viewers, we are being joined right now by Piyush Mishra, who's joining us live right now. Piyush, we are seeing that there's a lot of showdown, a massive showdown happening. Opposition leaders, including Sonia Gandhi, they're protesting, demanding discussions on Tawang clashes. And you are there at the spot. You're speaking to the Congress leaders. Tell us what they're saying, and has any kind of word also coming from the BJP about the fact that right now they are going ahead protesting and disrupting, the business of the House? All right, we'll go ahead to Piyush Mishra very shortly. Piyush is there at the spot right now. And viewers, what's happening as we speak right now in the national capital is that as the winter session of Parliament is scheduled, in fact, it started already from 11 a.m. onwards. That's when the winter session would have kicked off. But right now, what's happening is that multiple disruptions are happening at this point of time, viewers. Congress President and Leader of Opposition in Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, has called like-minded opposition leaders for a stir in front of the Gandhi statue, which is happening outside the Gandhi statue.
India, democracy, religious freedom. So now India's is a existing habit, democracy, and respect to all different religious traditions. That's India's sort of tradition. It's a very good. You should pay more attention about existing India's value. So now India, second most populated nation on this planet, and other countries, Indian community there. So basically, Indian people, I think they concept of secular, not particular religious sort of belief, secular way. These are quite wise, very good. So now younger Indian, you should keep 1,000-year-old India's secular tradition. Very important. Thank you.
Thank you, His Holiness. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so we have that reaction coming in. Dalai Lama on India, China. He is making a couple of points. And he's also saying that India's tradition is to respect democracy and respect all culture as well. Dalai Lama on a previous occasion had said that he considers India his home, and he is in fact very, very happy staying in India. He had made those very important points when he was questioned on the face-off in Tawang. And right now, Dalai Lama once again speaking on India-China and speaking on the India-China clashes as well. So we are seeing this, a comment coming in from Dalai Lama on India-China as the opposition continues to protest. And they're demanding a discussion on Tawang clash, viewers, as the winter session of Parliament, which is scheduled to kick off at 11 a.m. it starts. But instead of discussing the business of the House, we are seeing that there are multiple disruptions being made right now after the Tawang provocation, the opposition protesting outside the Gandhi statue. All right, viewers, many reactions also coming in at this point of time. Let's play them out for our viewers. Remember that right now the opposition, led by the Rajya Sabha LOP, Mallikarjun Kharge, is protesting outside the Gandhi statue, demanding a discussion on the December 9th face-off between India and China troops along the LAC.
हमारी मांग है कि चीन के मामले पर संसद में चर्चा हो। जो सरकार ने चुप्पी साध ली है, सरकार ने मौन व्रत धारण कर लिया है, उससे जो है विपक्ष परेशान। वो कहता आप कुछ तो बताओ, पूरा देश चीन के इस मामले पर, सीमा सुरक्षा के मामले पर आपके साथ है, हमारे सेना के जवानों के साथ है सारा विपक्ष। तो आपको फिर जो है इस पे चर्चा कराने से क्या गुरेज है? आप इस पे चर्चा कराइए, लोगों के सुझाव लीजिए, कड़े कूटनीतिक कदम उठाइए। सोनिया गांधी ने अपनी संसदीय दल की बैठक में भी कहा है कि कड़े कूटनीतिक कदम उठाने चाहिए और आर्थिक कदम उठाने चाहिए चीन के मामले में। वहाँ पे सरकार कुछ कर नहीं रही, इसकी वजह से उसके हौसले बढ़ते जा रहे हैं।
सबसे पहले सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा तो इंडिया चाइना का इशू है। इतने सारे बॉर्डर डिस्प्यूट्स चल रहे हैं और हमारी सरकार जो है किसी तरीके की जवाबदेही जो होनी चाहिए वो तय नहीं हो पा रही है। हम बार बार कह रहे हैं इस पर चर्चा होनी चाहिए। एक तरफ चाइना हम पर वार कर रहा है, हमारे सैनिकों को आकर बार बार बॉर्डर पे कन्फ्रंट कर रहा है। दूसरी तरफ हमारा ट्रेड व्यापार जो बढ़ रहा है चाइना के साथ, सेकेंड लार्जेस्ट पार्टनर ट्रेडिंग पार्टनर हमारा है तो चाइना है। 29% इंक्रीज हुआ है पिछले 8 सालों में। गलवान के बाद उम्मीद थी कि ये ट्रेड खत्म होगा, पर वो ट्रेड और बढ़ा है। तो ये सवाल पूछना लाजमी है कि आप एक तरफ आत्मनिर्भर भारत की बात करते हैं, दूसरी तरफ हम बॉर्डर पे इस तरीके का विवाद देख रहे हैं और आप इसके बारे में चर्चा नहीं करने दे रहे हैं। क्या हमारे सैनिकों को और हमारी सैनिकों की तरफ जिम्मेदारी नहीं है कि वो बार बार बॉर्डर पे लड़ रहे हैं, निहत्ते कभी कभी लड़ते हैं, कभी मुश्किलों का सामना कर रहे हैं और हमारी जो सरकार है उनकी किसी तरीके की जवाबदेही नहीं दे रही।
From the beginning of the session, the Chinese aggression, which was not actually duly attended, had been the uproar from the opposition party, and everybody from the opposition party demands that it has to be dealt with iron hands. And the minimum demand that our floor leader had put to the party, legislative speaker, is that we should be allowed a discussion on it, and we were not allowed on it. So the major protest is regarding the throat of democracy being not allowed to voice their opinion. Also, Chinese aggression is not an easy thing to be dealt with diplomatic ties or talks or whatever it is. So it had to be dealt with iron hand. And the recent aggression is needed to be addressed in the G20 summit also. So our DMK party leader, respected Mr. Talapati, has instructed our party members as well as the floor leader to take up this cause and raise this issue. And this protest is to voice our united opinion that why weren't we allowed to talk or discuss regarding this in the House?
प्रांत के नाम पर, जाति के नाम पर आरएसएस और बीजेपी की विचारधारा एक विभाजनकारी विचारधारा हमेशा रही है और सामाजिक ध्रुवीकरण चुनाव के लिए एक रणनीति बन गई है। और तीसरी जो खतरा है, जो तीसरी बात मैं कहना चाहता हूं, वो राजनीतिक तानाशाही अभी हकीकत बन गया। संविधान का नजरअंदाज किया जा रहा है, संवैधानिक संस्थाएं कमजोर की जा रही हैं, न्यायालय और सरकार के बीच में एक तनाव पैदा किया जा रहा और सारी संस्थाओं को कब्जे में लेने का प्रयास किया जा रहा है प्रधानमंत्री और प्रधानमंत्री कार्यालय की ओर से। आर्थिक विषमताएं बढ़ रही हैं, सामाजिक ध्रुवीकरण को प्रोत्साहन दिया जा रहा है और राजनीतिक तानाशाही हकीकत बन गई है और इससे भारत और हमारे लोकतंत्र को बहुत खतरा है, टूटने की संभावना बड़ी है और इसके खिलाफ आवाज उठाने के लिए राहुल जी भारत जोड़ो यात्रा निकाले। ये मन की बात नहीं है, किसी एक व्यक्ति की मन की बात नहीं है, ये जनता की चिंता है। राहुल जी रोज न केवल चलते हैं पर अलग अलग समूह से मिलते हैं, समाज के अलग अलग वर्गों से मिलते हैं और आज दोपहर को 2 बजे से लेकर करीब 2:40 तक पहली मुलाकात हरियाणा में राहुल जी की एक्स सर्विसमैन से होगी। तो पहले दिन जय जवान और परसों किसान संगठनों से मुलाकात करेंगे, उस दिन जय किसान होगा और जब हम हरियाणा लौटेंगे जनवरी के महीने में तो एक और इंटरैक्शन होगा।
All right, viewers, getting some breaking coming in at this point of time. Big breaking coming in at this point of time, viewers, where we are seeing that Sonia is asking in the parliament, why is the government silent? Why is the government silent? We're talking about Sonia Gandhi's speech during the Congress Parliamentary Party meeting. And also she's saying the government is not listening to opposition and continues to stall debate on the China issue. She also adds, people are not able to know the exact situation at China border. These are the comments right now coming in from Sonia Gandhi, viewers, where she clearly is saying the government is stalling. The government is stalling the proceedings, and why is the government silent? Even though our forces, our army pushed back the Chinese very effectively, they had clearly pushed them back. The Chinese tried to change the status quo, but our army stopped that. Rajnath Singh, in his address, had clearly said how China could not change the status quo and they failed miserably. Even after that, viewers, we're getting a comment coming in from Sonia Gandhi, who goes ahead and asks, why is the government silent? Why is the government silent? Even though a short while back, after the news of the incursion had come, Rajnath Singh had spoken to all the leaders and he made that stance clear that the Indian army pushed back the Chinese soldiers very effectively away from the border, and China had failed to change the status quo. But the big news coming in, Sonia Gandhi in parliament saying, why is the government silent? Why is the government silent? That's a comment coming from her. As opposition leaders, including Sonia Gandhi, are protesting, demanding discussion on the Tawang clash. The winter session of the parliament just began a short while back around 11 a.m. But you can see, viewers, that there are multiple disruptions happening with the Congress president and the leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, has called the opposition leaders for a stir in front of the Gandhi statue, and that's happening right over there. We also saw reactions coming in from the various opposition parties. All right, Piyush is joining us live. Piyush, you have been at the spot where the opposition is protesting. Take us through what's happening on ground. All right, okay, we'll connect back to Piyush. Getting some technical issue connecting to him. But viewers, right now we're getting this big update where Sonia is attacking the center. And it looks like Piyush is back with us. Piyush, what is happening right now? We are seeing the opposition politics is continuing, even though Rajnath Singh had made it very clear, addressing all the leaders, that our army had successfully pushed back the Chinese troops.
Well, absolutely, as we are speaking, the record continues to take place, and because of that, the Lok Sabha, as they adjourned, the opposition political parties continue to take records. In fact, the Lok Sabha before that, they protested in front of Mahatma Gandhi statue, in front of Parliament, where 12 the opposition political parties, they protested in front of Mahatma Gandhi statue. It was led by Congress party. We also saw Sonia Gandhi starting that particular protest. The opposition continues to create records, and they continue to protest the entire matter. The point is that this is happening in a time when the government has already made a detailed statement on the entire issue. The government has said that our forces have pushed back the Chinese forces and stopped the incursion there. And also detailed about the incident, what actually happened on the 9th of December. Everything was put in detail by the government. Rajnath Singh has made a detailed statement, not only in Rajya Sabha but also in Lok Sabha. But despite that reaction, the political parties continue to face protest. They created they also protested his right outside the parliament, also inside the Lok Sabha. The was created, and as we are speaking, the Lok Sabha has been adjourned because of the continuous disruption. Though the government is making it very clear that there is no any other extra work which needs to be added apart from the statement which has been made by the President Rajnath Singh. The opposition political parties have made it the entire matter. Remember that Rahul Gandhi, a couple of days back, had also used the words like preparing for our security forces. Yesterday, Piyush Goyal and Prahlad Joshi also did a press conference. They highlighted about the fact as to how, when it comes to national security, every political party must speak in one voice. But here we are seeing different voices coming in, and 12 opposition political parties continue to protest, demanding a further debate, discussion. And which we absolutely not for all of this disruption will continue, but today we can expect the entire records to be created and disruptions to be created by the opposition parties. They will continue to demand a further debate, discussion on the China issue. As we are speaking, Lok Sabha has been adjourned because
right. Right, Piyush. All right. Okay, Piyush, keep getting us those updates as opposition protests at the Gandhi statue. And we are also coming to know that Lok Sabha proceedings, viewers, Lok Sabha proceedings have been adjourned till 12 noon. An opposition protest over various issues. So as the opposition is protesting over there, there has been caused multiple disruptions. And that is why right now the proceedings have been adjourned. On that note, let's see what else is making news from across India. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia will review the pandemic situation today in a key COVID-19 review meet. Earlier, Mandavia had highlighted that India, with its focus on the five-fold strategy of test, track, treat, vaccination and adherence to COVID-appropriate behavior, has been able to restrict the transmission of the coronavirus. Despite the government making its stand clear on Tawang, opposition politics continues to rage on. And in the latest, Congress President and LOP in the Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, and opposition leaders staged a protest in front of the Gandhi statue at the Parliament today. Gangster turned terrorist Harry Chatta, who is set to replace Rinda, has reached Pakistan using fake passport. Reports suggest that fake passports were made in Punjab with different identities used by these gangsters to travel to different countries. State Special Operations Cell has registered FIR against 8 gangsters who had left the country using fake passports. The shocking incident, a local TDP leader was allegedly murdered by YSRCP leader and his aides in Andhra Pradesh. The police have registered a case and a probe is underway in the case. Months after BJP state president Bandi Sanjay challenged KTR to undergo a drug test, the Telangana minister has now accepted the challenge, but with the condition that Sanjay would hit himself with the footwear if the test comes out clean. Remember, earlier, Sanjay had accused KCR's son, KT Ramarao, of drug consumption. Traffic on the Jammu-Srinagar National Highway was disrupted after a landslide was reported on the national highway. This happened near Udhampur. Efforts are now underway to resume traffic movement at the earliest. Former Punjab CM Charanjit Channi is now summoned by the Chief Judicial Magistrate Court in Mansa and has been asked to appear on January 12th in connection to violation of order of public servant during polls over his campaign in Mansa. The ongoing tussle between Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan and Governor Arif Muhammad Khan has come to the light once again after the latter was dropped from the list of invitees, in fact, of the Christmas party hosted by the Chief Minister. In the latest cracking down on women's rights and freedoms, the Taliban, after the Afghan government banned women from private and public universities in Afghanistan, despite initially promising a more moderate rule. And women's and minority rights, the Taliban have widely implemented their harsh interpretation of the Islamic law. After an opinion poll on Twitter asking the users if he would step down as the CEO, Elon Musk tweeted that he will resign as a CEO as soon as he finds someone what he called foolish enough to take the job. And after that, he stated that he would just run the software and servers teams. Viewers, much more coming up on the other side. We continue to be live and breaking. Mandavia writes to Rahul Gandhi and Gehlot says follow COVID norms or stop the Yatra. Plus, NIA reports make sensational disclosure, says PFI members linked to ISIS and the Al-Qaeda. Stay tuned.
Powered by Truecaller, बुरी नियत वालों का कॉल लाल।
जैन 2022 से अब तक रोहन 6 बार डंप हुआ है, बट रोहन वो तो लहरा रहा है क्योंकि जियो मार्ट के ग्रैंड फिनाले सेल में शॉपिंग पर मिलेगा अप टू 80% ऑफ। तो साल जैसा भी गया हो, एंडिंग तो जबरदस्त होगी।
Everyone looks at the world today. At Hyundai, we go beyond with experiences that take us forward. Inspired by our today, we design your tomorrow. Some said electric is the future. We said, why stop there? At Hyundai, we are going beyond mobility, and you are welcome to join us.
Reimagineering brighter futures with smarter steels. ArcelorMittal, Nippon Steel India. Smarter steels, brighter futures.
ये है गेहूं। जब इसमें जुड़ता है रागी, जवार, बाजरा और मेथी तो बनता है हेल्दी मन्ना मल्टी मिलेट आटा। ये है बेहतर आटा।
उठो, जागो, दौड़ो तुम। डायबिटीज को रोको तुम।
Get Beto's Diabetes Care Program with a free glucometer and expert advice. Give a missed call on 740 1100.
Chinese troops pushed back. The government sets the record straight, but opposition politics continues. The Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia writes to Rahul Gandhi and Ashok Gehlot, says follow COVID norms or stop the Yatra. It's a brazen violation of COVID norms at Rahul Gandhi's Yatra. The BJP now calls it COVID Jodo Yatra. The Union Health Minister is to review the COVID-19 situation as cases witness a sharp surge in multiple countries. NIA report makes sensational disclosures as PFI members linked to the ISIS and the Al-Qaeda. Another regressive move by the Taliban bans women from universities and higher education. And straight off to news that's just coming in, we are learning that the Union Home Minister Mansukh Mandavia has reached the Health Ministry for a COVID review meeting. Do remember that the Union Health Ministry not wanting to take any chances after the surge in cases reported across various countries around the world has called for this review meeting. Now, amongst the key decisions that have so far been taken is the fact that the Health Ministry has issued guidelines to all states to increase genome testing as COVID cases continue to show a sharp surge, at least in certain countries. Reports coming in of a sharp surge in cases in China, in the US, in Korea, in Canada. So thereafter, we're given to understand that the government wants to make sure that it does put in place all precautionary measures. We are still awaiting, of course, for the government to come out and announce any new measures. Whether that will happen at all, we don't know yet. But there is also a call that's being made from various quarters in terms of flights that are emanating out of China. Whether the government will essentially look at those, we don't know. But obviously, there are calls being made that perhaps there should be a restriction on flights that are coming in from China. Do remember that China has seen unparalleled number of COVID cases that have been reported, particularly at least from Beijing, where reports are suggesting that hospitals are overwhelmed, and also the fact that several crematoriums are continuously dealing with those people who may have died from COVID-19. China, of course, has reported, rather underreported these deaths, so with China saying that only people who die out of breathing difficulties and are COVID positive will be considered as people who have died from COVID. They are not looking at any comorbidities. Now, even as the surge happens, the Union Health Minister, of course, has arrived for a COVID meeting at the Health Ministry. Let's go across to Harsha, who's reporting on this. Harsha, we are given to understand that one of the things that the Health Ministry is going to be looking at is perhaps an advisory in terms of flights that are coming in from China, at least, and also an advisory perhaps that might now be put in place for domestic and international airports.
Exactly, Nupun. What we are learning now that there are certain pointers which will be discussed in this today's review meeting by Health Ministry. We'll show you the visuals because Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia has already reached here, and all the top health experts of the country, from Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan to the experts from
Harsha, that's a very poor connection we have with you. We're going to fix that and come back to you in just a bit. But as Harsha is pointing out, of course, there are a number of measures that the are likely to be taken by the Health Ministry. One of the things that we've been learning about, of course, is the fact that the Health Ministry could be looking at new variants. Now, do remember that what we are seeing in China is an Omicron surge, and it was very similar to what we saw last year at, in between December and January, when we also saw an Omicron surge back home in India. Let me go across back to Harsha now on this one. Harsha, I think your audio is fixed now. Take us through what we're expecting to come out of this meeting. We are now learning, of course, that Mansukh Mandavia also could be issuing an advisory to states.
Exactly, but what we're learning right now, as you can see in visuals, that all the experts, all
all the experts have come to the ministry for the review meeting, and right now the meeting has already started because MOS Bharti Pawar, Mansukh Mandavia, and all the top health experts of the country, from AIMS director to INSACOG head epidemiologist and the NCT director, has already reached here. So this meeting becomes very important because the neighboring countries are seeing COVID surge, be it China, Japan, Korea, and US. And there are several flights also we have seen post-COVID, how many flights have been coming from these countries as well. So in the review meeting, it will be clearly be decided that how the testing and tracking and surveillance should be initiated now at the airport. The tourists who are coming from abroad in our country, proper guidelines should be issued for them. And not only this, the tourists, the Indians who are coming from abroad, the guidelines and the testing tracking should be initiated at T3 terminals for those passengers as well. And as the country is getting for the festival season, the New Year and Christmas celebration are ahead. So proper guidelines will be issued ahead of the festival. Also, the restrictions will be enforced on the large crowd gathering at several places. So these are the main pointers of the meeting which is going to be discussed. And one more thing, that if it could be a new variant, then the expert suggestions will be taken on genome sequencing as well. That the genome sequencing should be increased in the states where the cases of COVID are continuously rising. And when the genome sequencing will be done, it could be more learned whether it is a new variant or not a new variant. So today's meeting is among the health officials and health secretaries of the country, the major health experts who have been dealing with COVID-1 and COVID-2 in our country. And this is an alarming situation. Therefore, a letter was also written to Rahul Gandhi and Ashok Gehlot to postpone their Bharat Jodo Yatra because it is a public health emergency situation, and so that the situation shouldn't be more worse. Therefore, proper preparedness is being enhanced by Health Ministry right now. Therefore, this health meeting has started at 11:30 a.m. where the MOS and the minister himself is present, and the review meeting has started with the health officials. Now, back to you.
Right, absolutely. As Harsha is pointing out, of course, the health minister is holding a review meeting amid a global spike in cases that are being reported from various countries. Now, earlier Tuesday, of course, the health ministry had urged all states and union territories to ramp up the genome sequencing of positive samples to keep a track of the newer variants. Now, let me go back to Harsha on this one. Now, one of the things that people are worried about is with the sharp uptake in cases in China, there could be new variants that could be at play, and that is something that's worrying Indian authorities as well, Harsha?
Exactly, no, but that's the case because we have seen at the time of COVID-1 and COVID-2 as well. We saw there was a 4 month before only China saw a surge in COVID-1. At that time also, it was a sudden that India took the preparedness step at the time of COVID-1 in March 2020. But if there's a new variant, and because the cases are rising in China, we are seeing visuals from the hospitals, from the seats of China, Japan, and South Korea. The situation doesn't seem to be very good over there. And till now, from those countries as well, we have not got to know that it is a new variant or it is not a new variant. But to be more sure of it, therefore, genome sequencing is being enhanced. At the time of B2 variant also, we saw there were several tourists who were coming from these countries. A new variant was seen, a Delta variant was seen at that time. So if it could be a new variant, then the genome sequencing and the positivity of those patients need to be checked who are coming from the countries like China, US, Korea, and Japan. And the flight operations from these countries has to be lessened because right now we are seeing, because of the festival season, the flight rates from these countries are too high. So proper initiated guidelines should be issued for these countries, and it is a seriously matter of concern because now a public health advisory would be issued from the health ministry for civil aviation ministry as well, what we're expecting after this meeting, because right now the surge in neighboring countries is too much and the situation should not worsen in our country. Therefore, proper guidelines and protocols will be given to other states as well to follow all those protocols. The testing and tracking, the 3 T's which we follow, testing, tracking and tracing should be increased in all the states, and the advisory could be issued after this meeting, what we are expecting right now.
Now, just very quickly, Harsha, could you confirm for us that the meeting has begun? It was supposed to begin at about 11:30, and also tell us more in terms of who all are attending this particular meeting.
Yes, Nupur, the meeting has already started. We saw Mansukh Mandavia reaching the health ministry at around 11:20 a.m. And before Mansukh Mandavia, the union health minister, before he reached here, we saw the director of AIMS, we saw the heads of the INSACOG, the experts who are in the NCD, and the other health experts and the directors of the health ministry, the other officials.
politicians as well. All were already present here. Ms. Bharti Pawar has just reached for the meeting. The meeting as scheduled for 11:30 has already started. So we are expecting this meeting to go for almost 1.5 hours or more than 1 or 2 hours because the experts will be taking suggestions. The experts from INSA-POG who are actually specialized in genome sequencing, because the proper guidelines will be given to them regarding genome sequencing as well, because this is a lab of experts who actually deal in genome sequencing and the COVID cases have been sent from the different states to this lab as well. So suggestions from INSA-POG experts will be taken. AIMS director would also be asked about the preparedness, what the government hospitals could do if the beds have to be increased, the proper preparedness when it comes to oxygen cylinder, oxygen concentrators, increasing the number of beds. What these steps are to be taken will be discussed in this entire meeting. So we are seeing that this meeting becomes very important ahead of a scourge which is being seen in the neighboring countries, and a slight increase is also being seen in some of the parts of the country, from Karnataka, Kerala, Telangana, Rajasthan, Maharashtra. These are the states where the rising number of COVID cases have been seen in the span of 15 to 20 days. So for back to you.
All right, Harsha, of course, is continuing to bring us the latest in terms of what's happening as far as the centre's meeting on the COVID crisis is concerned. Do remember there has been a huge upsurge in cases in China, and the government wants to make sure that it does have all measures in place. Thank you, Harsha. Now, after K. Kavita's name was once again mentioned in the charge sheet of in the Delhi liquor scam, the BRS MLC K. Kavita has taken to Twitter and said that even if her name is mentioned 28 times or 28,000 times, a lie does not become true. So that's her tweet. Do remember that K. Kavita's name has been mentioned in the charge sheet in the Delhi liquor scam case. Let's go across to Aneri in Hyderabad. She has more details in this. Now, Aneri, K. Kavita, of course, has from the very beginning been saying that this, she believes, is political vendetta. Once again, reiterating that, saying that even if a name is mentioned in the charge sheet, it does not make a lie true. Aneri, are you there with us?
Well, that's right, Nupur. We have been seeing that after K. Kavita's name has emerged in Samir Mahendru's charge sheet. Well, yesterday, once again, we had seen K. Kavita's name being mentioned. She is the daughter of Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao and also the BRS MNC. But now, taking to social media, K. Kavita has replied saying that it's the political vendetta of BJP as they fear that the BRS party chief and CM KCR will expose their anti-farmers and pro-capitalist policies is what K. Kavita has been saying. So now definitely a face-off between the BRS and the BJP is going on, amid which we see that K. Kavita's name has come up once again. Once again in the Delhi liquor scam chart sheet of Samir Mahendru, where we see that earlier also there was questioning of K. Kavita into this matter. On the 11th of December, we had seen that officials had arrived at her residence for questioning, and in the meantime, now we see that the face-off between the BJP and the BRS is going on. Now, K. Kavita has taken to social media. She has stated that let it be 28 times or 28,000 times. But if my name is also mentioned, the truth will prevail. The lie will not become truth. And so we have been seeing that this comes amid her name being involved in the Delhi liquor scam. Earlier also she was, she underwent questioning, and now we see that hitting out at the Bharatiya Janata Party, K. Kavita says that it's a political vendetta of the BJP.
Aneri, Kavita, of course, says that this is political vendetta. For the benefit of our viewers, explain to us why her name is figuring in these charge sheets. She, of course, says that she has nothing to do with it, but her name is mentioned in relationship to a certain Samir Mahendru, and explain to us what that role is.
Well, Nupur, we had seen that a few months back, the BJP leaders in the Delhi also had said that it is K. Kavita who is involved in the Delhi liquor scam. But months after the investigation, how there were raids being conducted by the officials, and also we had seen that K. Kavita's name was appeared in the chart sheet a few months back, and then the officials had told that they would be coming for an investigation, and we had seen that how there was questioning which was underwent for K. Kavita at her residence in Hyderabad on the 11th of December, and then we see that now once again her K. Kavita's name is mentioned as a South group. She is being said to be having meetings with Samir Mahendru and other leaders, other people who are involved in the Delhi liquor scam. Apparently what we are being told is that according to the chart sheet also, K. Kavita had held meetings in Hyderabad with Samir Mahendru and others. So now we have to wait and watch in regard with where this further investigation will lead to. But yes, once again, K. Kavita, who is the BRS MLC, her name appears in the chart sheet in the Delhi liquor scam.
All right, Aneri reporting on this from Hyderabad. Thank you very much for joining us with all those details. So, K. Kavita, of course, has hit back on Twitter saying that this is all lies. You are with Republic TV, and still to come, the NIA report makes sensational disclosures as the PFI members are linked to the ISIS and Al-Qaeda. And it is another aggressive move by the Taliban as it bans women from universities and higher education.
Mr. Blanc, you're the world's greatest detective, right?
In your words, there has been a murder. The killer wouldn't hesitate to kill again if it covers their tracks.
Wow!
Well, I'm out of here.
Yeah, me too.
Lock the doors. Stay in your rooms. Everyone is in danger.
Are you calling me dangerous?
Well, we'll see.
आज की पेशकश
अच्छी है, पर ये चाय रोज मिलेगी?
रिटायर होने वाला हूँ, रोज नहीं, लाइफ लॉन्ग मिलेगी, ये मेरी गारंटी है।
कुछ चीजों का साथ हमेशा होना चाहिए, जैसे HDFC लाइफ एन्युटी प्लान्स, जो दे लाइफ लॉन्ग मंथली गारंटीड इनकम। HDFC लाइफ, सर उठा के जियो।
क्या हुआ रोहन, क्या सोच रहा है?
रिया, पहली सैलरी मिली है, तुम भी कुछ आइडिया दो, एक्सपेंसेस को कैसे प्लान किया जाए।
रोहन, एक्सपेंसेस के साथ साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान करना भी जरूरी है।
देखो, सैलरी का कुछ हिस्सा घर के रेगुलर खर्चे के लिए और कुछ मैं अपने लिए भी तो सोच सकता हूँ ना, लेकिन इन्वेस्ट कहाँ करूँ?
सिंपल है, NPS में।
NPS में? रिया, अभी तो मैंने कमाना शुरू किया है, इतना आगे के लिए अभी से क्यों पैसे जोड़ूं?
वो देखो, एक एक करके ईंट जोड़ी जाती है, तब जाके एक घर तैयार होता है। वैसे ही अभी से पैसे जोड़कर हम भी अपना रिटायरमेंट सुखी बना सकते हैं।
बात में तो दम है।
NPS कम लागत वाली फ्लेक्सिबल लॉन्ग टर्म योजना है, जिससे आपकी बचत ग्रो होकर पेंशन का लाभ देती है।
अच्छा, फिर तो मैं अभी अपना NPS अकाउंट ओपन करता हूँ।
जो कल की सोचते हैं, वो आज से ही थोड़ा-थोड़ा जोड़ते हैं।
पेंशन है तो टेंशन नहीं। NPS में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है।
Days after Argentina clinched its third World Cup title, scores of fans clashed with the police in Buenos Aires after a day of celebrations for the national soccer team's return home with the World Cup trophy. Clashes started after the police moved to arrest several fans who had broken into the obelisk monument. Watch now. Fans hurled stones and glass bottles at police as they counter-attacked the rubber bullets and water cannons. Several fans were arrested and tensions continue to simmer in the capital city of Argentina. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And here's a quick look at what else is making news this morning. The Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia will review the pandemic situation today in a key COVID-19 review meeting, which has begun, by the way. Despite the government making its stand clear on Tawang, opposition politics continues to rage on, and in the latest, Congress President and Leader of the Opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, has called upon like-minded opposition leaders to protest in front of the Gandhi statue at Parliament. Gangster turned terrorist Harry Chatta, who is set to replace Rinda, has reached Pakistan using a fake passport. Reports suggest that fake passports were made in Punjab with different identities used by these gangsters to travel to different countries. The state special operations group has registered an FIR against 8 gangsters who fled the country. In a shocking incident, a local TDP leader was allegedly murdered by a YSRCP leader and his aides in Palmadu in Andhra Pradesh. The police have registered a case and a probe is underway. Months after the BJP state president Bandi Sanjay challenged KTR to undergo a drug test, the Telangana minister has now accepted the challenge, but with the condition that Bandi Sanjay will hit himself with footwear if the test comes out clean. Earlier, Bandi Sanjay had accused the KCR's son, KT Rama Rao, of drug consumption. Traffic on the Jammu-Srinagar National Highway has been disrupted after a landslide was reported on the National Highway near Deval Bridge in Udhampur. Efforts are underway to resume traffic movement at the earliest. The former Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi has summoned by the Chief Judicial Magistrate Court in Mansa and has been asked to appear on the 12th of January in connection with violation of the order of the public servant during polls over his campaign in Mansa. The ongoing tussle between the Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan and the Governor Arif Muhammad Khan has come to light once again after the latter was dropped from the list of invitees for a Christmas party that's hosted by the Chief Minister. In the latest edict cracking down on women's rights and freedoms, the Taliban, after the Afghan government banned women from private and public universities in Afghanistan, despite initially promising a more moderate rule and women's and minority rights, the Taliban have widely implemented their harsh interpretation of Islamic law. And after an opinion poll on Twitter asking users if he should step down as the CEO, Elon Musk tweeted that he will resign as the CEO as soon as he finds someone what he called foolish enough to take on the job. And after that, he stated that he would just run the software and service teams. You are watching Republic TV, and on the other side, we bring you more details of the COVID review meeting that's currently underway.
सोच रहा हूँ कमेंट्री ट्राई करूँ मैच का आखिरी बॉल तेज तूफानी डिलीवरी एक धमाकेदार शॉट और ये गया छक्का
छक्का नहीं टूटा आपके टाइल्स को चाहिए MY के लेटिक्रीट टाइल एडेसिव फॉर्मूला ऐसा कि अब टाइल ना टूटेगा ना छूटेगा
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
देखें कौन नया खिलाड़ी आया है समझा देते हैं प्यार से समझाएंगे धीरे धीरे से वो भी अपनी सुबह में ये तो अपनी जुबान है।
जुबान एक हो तो दिल भी एक होने चाहिए। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Hey Rahul, what's up?
Hey, kicked about our first date?
Of course.
Benefits up to rupees 30,000 only at the Citroën C3 Carnival. Book today.
Invest once and enjoy guaranteed maturity with life cover with LIC's Dhan Varsha, a single premium plan for your family's security and prosperity.
India welcomes those who further India's pride across the globe. Indian diaspora, partners of New India's growth journey in Amritkal. Come and be a part of the 17th Pravasi Bharati Divas from 8th to 10th January 2023 at Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. For registration, log on to pbdindia.gov.in.
Welcome back. There is currently a COVID review meeting that is on in the national capital. The Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia is heading this meeting. Of course, he's also looking at various restrictions that may need to be put now with the surge in cases that have been reported out of China and other Western countries. Let's go across to Harsha. She has more details on this. Harsha, tell us more in terms of what the Health Ministry is looking at in terms of restrictions, if any, and also give us a sense of what are their concerns.
See, Nupur, right now the ministry has started the meeting, which was supposed to be started at 11:30 a.m. It's been half an hour since the meeting has started, and it's a very important review meeting because the COVID surge is being seen in the neighboring countries of China, US, Japan, and Korea. Until now, if we talk about the aviation, if we talk about the running flights from these countries, the number of flights from morning till the night time are in major numbers, so the restriction could be imposed. What we're learning that after this meeting, a restriction could be asked to civil aviation and the port, the entry points of the country, because there are ports and there are the aviation, there are flights through which from abroad the tourists are continuously visiting in the country. The APHO will be given the guidelines how to give the restrictions, how the guidelines should be initiated in the port and at the airports, because testing, tracking, tracing and surveillance will be asked by the Aviation Ministry to implement at the airports, at T3 terminal, from where these flights are coming, and not only these countries, from other countries as well. The Indians who are coming to their own country after visiting abroad, the COVID vaccination certificate and the proper testing will take place at the airport, at the different points will be created for it. These measures could be initiated, what we are learning from this meeting, because it's a festival season. Huge number of crowds and tourists are already coming in the country, so restrictions can also be imposed in the numbers of crowd who are going for the celebration of Christmas and New Year. A particular number will be given for the RWA, for the community centers, that apart from more than this number would not be allowed to participate in the festival. We are learning such restrictions could be imposed because the spurge, and it is an alarming situation, and we have seen at the time of COVID-1 and COVID-2. So before that only, for the preparedness, the officials have been called. All the experts of the health, NK Arora, VK Paul, AIMS Director, INSA COG experts, Health Minister, all are here in the review meeting to take the cognizance of the matter of the alarming situation of COVID.
Absolutely, absolutely. Harsha reporting from New Delhi on this. Thank you very much for joining us with those details. So even as the COVID review meeting is on, we are expecting the government to announce certain measures. You're watching Republic TV. On the other side, we bring you more news. We will also be tracking the opposition's protest that is taking place outside of Parliament. And the BJP says there's brazen violation of COVID norms at Rahul Gandhi's Yatra. The BJP calls it the COVID Jodo Yatra.
Powered by Truecaller. बुरी नियत वालों का कॉल लाल.
Just yesterday, Munmun handed a phone to a random person to get her DP clicked. For the 5th time this year. And her phone got stolen again. But Munmun's over the move. Because JioMart's grand finale sale is offering up to 80% off on everything. So no matter how your year's been, the ending will be smashing.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
आइए नए उत्तर प्रदेश की क्षमता और असीमित अवसरों से सफलता की नई कहानी लिखें. यूपी ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर्स समिट 10 से 12 फरवरी 2023. नए भारत के ग्रोथ इंजन उत्तर प्रदेश में निवेश करें.
Guys, just 1 second. Choosing a car for my mom.
What? Online car shopping? Wow, that's so cool, yeah.
शाहरुख ने बताया.
Wait up. Booking a car service.
From here.
क्यों? तुझे शाहरुख ने नहीं बताया?
इसने पूछा ही नहीं. There's so much more जो शाहरुख ने नहीं बताया. It's all on the industry first My Hyundai app. Open a world of possibility with My Hyundai app. One app, many worlds.
आज की पेशकश.
अच्छी है, पर ये चाय रोज मिलेगी?
रिटायर होने वाला हूँ, रोज नहीं, लाइफ लॉन्ग मिलेगी. ये मेरी गारंटी है.
कुछ चीजों का साथ हमेशा होना चाहिए, जैसे HDFC लाइफ एन्युटी प्लान्स, जो दे लाइफ लॉन्ग मंथली गारंटीड इनकम. HDFC लाइफ, सर उठा के जियो.
Outside a liquor factory in Ferozpur demanding to shut down the liquor factory. Punjab police lathi charging on these farmers who've gathered in large numbers.
Karnataka's Gadag district, where a teacher allegedly thrashes a 10-year-old schoolboy to death.
In Telangana, Sarurnagar, students of a government junior school staged protest demanding the education minister and the government to provide toilet facility inside the college.
Good afternoon. You're watching Live and Breaking on Republic TV. I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. Here's a quick look at the top headlines we're tracking here on Republic at 12 o'clock this noon. Chinese troops are pushed back. The government sets the record straight, but the opposition politics is continuing. Mansukh Mandavia writes to Rahul Gandhi and Ashok Gehlot, says follow COVID norms or stop the Yatra. Brazen violation of COVID norms at Rahul Gandhi's Yatra. The BJP now calls it COVID Jodo Yatra. The Union Health Minister reviews COVID-19 situation as cases witness a surge in multiple countries. NIA report makes a sensational disclosure, says the PFI members are linked to ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Another regressive move by the Taliban bans women from universities and higher education. Well, the Congress president and the leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, and other opposition parties are staging a protest near the Gandhi statue outside Parliament, demanding a discussion on the Tawang face-off. Now, this come even as Sonia Gandhi also joined this particular protest a while ago in Parliament. Sonia Gandhi has, of course, asked why the government is silent, going on to say that the Chinese incursion is a serious matter and it should be discussed in Parliament. Pictures on your screen are of this opposition protest that is being led by the Congress party. We are now learning that about 12 opposition parties are protesting here. The Union Minister Kiran Rijiju has now hit out at Sonia Gandhi as well. This comes even as Sonia Gandhi, of course, has questioned why the government is not wanting to have a discussion on this in Parliament. Let's quickly listen in to what the Union Minister Rijiju has said.
क्या मूर्ति के सामने में जा कर के लड़ाई का बात करना वो ठीक नहीं है। और मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि कांग्रेस पार्टी अपने गिरेबान में जाग के देखना चाहिए कि देश के सुरक्षा के साथ खास करके बॉर्डर एरिया में आज़ादी के बाद इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं बनाने का जो फैसला किया और कांग्रेस ने इसलिए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बॉर्डर एरिया में नहीं बनाने का फैसला किया क्योंकि वो कहते थे कि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाएंगे, सड़कें बनाएंगे तो हमारे जो एनिमी है वो उसका इस्तेमाल करेंगे। तो ऐसा सोच रखने वाले आज हमको सीख देने का बातें कर रहे हैं, उपदेश दे रहे हैं, ये बहुत गलत।
सोनिया गांधी ने ये कहा कि सरकार और जुडिशरी के बीच में जो टकराव है वो बहुत डिस्टर्बिंग है, क्या कहेंगे?
कोई टकराव नहीं है, हम अपना पोजीशन को बता रहे हैं। कांग्रेस के लोग ही जुडिशरी को अटैक करते हैं और कपिल सिब्बल साहब ने कहा कि इनको सुप्रीम कोर्ट में कोई विश्वास नहीं रह गया है। कपिल सिब्बल ने कहा ना, ही हैज़ लॉस्ट फेथ इन द सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया। ऐसे बातें हम इस्तेमाल नहीं करते हैं, हम जुडिशरी को इज्जत देते हैं। जुडिशरी के साथ मिल कर के ही न्याय व्यवस्था को ठीक करना चाहिए। अगर मैं कुछ मुद्दे सामने में रखता हूं तो वो जवाब होता है। मुझे पार्लियामेंट में जब सवाल पूछते हैं तो मेरा दायित्व होता है उसका जवाब देना। ये जुडिशरी पे हमला नहीं होता है। और हमारे सरकार पिछले 8 सालों में आपने देखा होगा, मोदी जी के सरकार जो चल रहे हैं, एक ऐसा हमने बात नहीं की, ऐसा कदम नहीं उठाया जिससे जुडिशरी को नुकसान हो। हम इस चीज़ को भरपूर मानते हैं कि जुडिशरी को सम्मान देना हमारा दायित्व है और सरकार और जुडिशरी मिलकर ही हम लोगों को लोगों का न्याय का व्यवस्था को खड़ा करना है।
Now, the Union Minister, of course, speaking about two diverse issues here. One of them, of course, is the protest that is going on outside Parliament at the Gandhi statue. The other part of it, of course, was talking of the collegium system. But going back to the big story that we've been tracking in terms of the protest that is taking place outside of Parliament. Now, the opposition parties, of course, about 12 in number, are demanding that the government allow for a discussion to take place in both houses of Parliament over the clash that happened in Tawang between Chinese PLA soldiers and the Indian Army Jawans. But at the moment, the government has said that they've already made a statement in both houses of Parliament. In fact, the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh made the statement very, very quickly after this clash was reported in both houses of Parliament. And they feel that there is no need for another discussion to take place on this. Piyush Mishra, of course, is continuing to bring us developments from outside Parliament. Now, Piyush, the opposition parties, of course, are very adamant on their demand. They want a discussion, and it does seem that perhaps at least this winter session of Parliament will largely be a washout as the opposition remains firm.
Well, certainly there are 2 to 3 days left for this winter session, because what we are learning from our sources is that the winter session could go for fine die ahead of its schedule. What we are now told is that opposition will continue to protest, they will continue to demand answers from the government over the issue of tussle between Indian and Chinese forces in Tawang. What we are now given to understand is that they are going to raise this matter in Rajya Sabha too. As we are speaking, the Lok Sabha has been adjourned. Remember that soon after at 11 a.m. when the Lok Sabha had begun, at the time itself, the opposition political parties started raising slogans. They demanded that proper discussion should be there, debate should be there on the China issue, following which the Lok Sabha had to be adjourned. Also, Ken Rijiju, who is law minister and also belongs to Arunachal Pradesh, he has come out and spoken to media. He has once again highlighted that there is no need for any other demand, any other discussion on the China issue, because the government has already made its stand clear, has already made a detailed statement in both the houses of the parliament. It was Defence Minister Rajnath Singh who, on the very same day when the incident was reported, made a detailed statement in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. But opposition political parties continue to politicize the matter, and they continue to demand a discussion on this entire issue. We'll have to wait and watch what will be the further strategy of opposition political parties. But today, 12 opposition political parties took out a protest in front of Gandhi statue in Parliament, and after that, they marched inside the Parliament and also raised their voice for a debate on the floor of the House on the China issue. The government has made it very clear that the statement has already been made and no extra thing needs to be highlighted. In fact, Kiran Rijiju has also made it very clear that during the UPA rule, when Chinese incursion incident had taken place, at the time itself, the leader of the House of Congress, Pranab Mukherjee, had highlighted that there is no need for a debate on this, and that demand was also accepted by the then leader of BJP in the House, L.K. Advani. So the government...
Absolutely, Piyush. Just hold your thoughts for a minute. We are going to come back to you. Let's quickly dip into what had earlier happened in the Lok Sabha.
12 बजे तक स्थगित की एक अच्छी परंपरा डालें कि प्रश्नकाल चले। प्रश्नकाल के अंदर आप प्रश्न पूछें, जनता ने आपको चुनकर भेजा है सरकार से प्रश्न पूछने का। आप प्रश्नकाल चलना देना चलना चाहते, नहीं चलना चाहते, सदन की कार्रवाई 12 बजे तक स्थगित की जाती है। एक अच्छी परंपरा।
All right, this was from earlier in the day when the House was adjourned till about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, let's go back to Piyush right now. Piyush, you were taking us through the government strategy. Now, there was a meeting that the government did hold yesterday in terms of the BJP's parliamentary party. What did they decide over there? How are they looking to tackle this? He, of course, questioned the government on the Tawang clash and alleged that the government is trying to stall a discussion in Parliament. The Union Home Minister Kiran Rijiju has hit out at Sonia Gandhi. Well, in fact, Sonia Gandhi had said that the government is trying its very best not to have a discussion on this, going on to say that the opposition is going to continue with its demand of having a discussion on the issue of Tawang. The opposition parties led by the Congress party, of course, are continuously demanding that there needs to be a discussion in both houses of parliament over the clash that took place in Tawang. So we are now learning that the BJP, of course, has slammed Sonia Gandhi on this, saying that they need to do a reality check. Kiran Rijiju, of course, spoke out about it and said that it was the Congress's policy not to develop infrastructure in the northeast for a long time. So Union Minister Kiran Rijiju over there hitting out at the Congress party. Do remember that Sonia Gandhi has questioned the government not wanting to have a debate in Parliament. She has raised this issue, saying that the government is stalling holding a debate. Now, opposition parties, even as we speak, are protesting outside the Parliament. Let's listen into what Kiran Rijiju said.
सोनिया गांधी ने ये कहा कि सरकार और जुडिशरी के बीच में जो टकराव है वो बहुत डिस्टर्बिंग है, क्या कहेंगे?
कोई टकराव नहीं है, हम अपना पोजीशन को बता रहे हैं। कांग्रेस के लोग ही जुडिशरी को अटैक करते हैं और कपिल सिब्बल साहब ने कहा कि इनको सुप्रीम कोर्ट में कोई विश्वास नहीं रह गया है। कपिल सिब्बल ने कहा ना, ही हैज लॉस्ट फेथ इन द सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया। ऐसे बातें हम इस्तेमाल नहीं करते हैं। हम जुडिशरी को इज्जत देते हैं। जुडिशरी के साथ मिलकर के ही न्याय व्यवस्था को ठीक करना चाहिए। अगर मैं कुछ मुद्दे सामने में रखता हूं तो वो
उसके बारे में सदन को इन्फॉर्मेशन दो ताकि सदन के ओर से सारे देश के लोगों को मालूम हो। यही चर्चा अगर नहीं हुई, एक तरफा उत्तर हुआ, तो उसका क्या मतलब है? बस
स्मृति ईरानी ये कह रही है कांग्रेस के नेता खुश होते हैं बहुत आर्मी की इंसल्ट।
देखो, उनके स्मृति ईरानी क्या बोली वो नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, मैं जो चाहता हूँ वो बोला।
कोविड रोकने के कारण से स्वास्थ्य मंत्री कह रहे हैं सर।
All right, so Mallikarjun Kharge over there saying that they want a discussion to take place. They say that this is an issue of national security and of national importance. Hence, the government must allow for opposition parties to raise it in both houses of parliament and to discuss it. Now, the opposition, of course, led by the Congress party, is continuously protesting outside parliament. The protests are taking place at the Gandhi statue even as we speak. All right, joining me right now on the phone line is Mr. R.P. Singh from the BJP. Mr. Singh, we have seen the opposition, of course, take on the government, saying that they want a discussion to be held in both houses of parliament, despite the fact that there is a statement that has been issued by the government on this. How do you see this?
Well, two ministers have already spoken on the subject, the defense minister and the foreign affairs minister. And I remember 28th April 2013, the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh said, "This is a small thing. Why do you want to discuss this in the parliament? We should not discuss this in the parliament." It's on record. You check on this. And then this was when there's a 19-kilometer inclusion by the China inside India. But again, what they have been asking in parliament, they've been asking in parliament, where is the deployment? How is the deployment of the forces in all these sectors? So is Parliament there to discuss a strategic part of the deployment of the army in on the border area? You want government to tell you that, and so that this can go public, and then your enemy can take advantage of that. But are you working on behest of someone? Are there some forces who have kept you on a payroll to ask such questions? This is obnoxious. When has it happened that deployment is being asked in the Parliament?
Absolutely. R.P. Singh, appreciate your speaking to us on Republic TV. So the BJP hitting back over there, saying that the issues that the opposition wants discussed in Parliament have never in the past been brought up and they are of strategic importance. Let's also listen in to the demands that have come in from the opposition.
मिनिस्टर की किसी ने भी एक बार पार्लीमेंट ਨੂੰ ਐਡਰੈਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਅੱਜ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਹਾਲਾਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਦੇਸ਼ਵਾਸੀ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਐਸੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਦੀ ਚੀਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਲੜਾਈ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਨਾ ਕਰੂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ ਤਿਆਰ ਆ ਪਰ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਰੱਖੇ ਤਾਂ ਸਹੀ ਹੋ ਕੀ ਰਿਹਾ ਵਾ ਇਹ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਉੱਤੇ ਚੁੱਪੀ ਧਾਰਨੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਪਰਦਾ ਪਾਉਣਾ ਇਹ ਕੋਈ ਹੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ देश के लोग सच्चाई जानना चाहते हैं तो प्रधानमंत्री ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਤੇ ਮੂੰਹ ਖੋਲਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ
But the speaker is saying that Congress leader think that if they insult the Indian army in front of Gandhi family, they will be appreciated. He is evenly challenging Rahul Gandhi to contest for Mameti.
See, Smriti Irani is a lost case, gone case. She always do the thing for visuals. पहले तो वो सिलेंडर उठा के भाग रही थी जब 10 रुपए सिलेंडर बढ़ गया Now she is nowhere seen. Now सिलेंडर has crossed 1,000 rupees. She doesn't utter a word. Whatever she does it to please Mr. Modi. तो मोदी जी को वो प्लीज करने के लिए वो कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं We the congressmen, we have given our lives for the party. Gandhi family, they lost 2 of their main members to the terrorism. And it was Indira Gandhi ji who formed Bangladesh, who defeated Pakistan. How can we insult the army? In fact, it is BJP who's insulting the army by not letting Indians know the truth.
एक तरफ चाइना हम पर वार कर रहा है हमारे सैनिकों को आकर बार बार बॉर्डर पे कन्फ्रंट कर रहा है दूसरी तरफ हमारा ट्रेड व्यापार जो बढ़ रहा है चाइना के साथ सेकंड लार्जेस्ट पार्टनर ट्रेडिंग पार्टनर हमारा है तो चाइना है 29% इंक्रीज हुआ है पिछले 8 सालों में गलवान के बाद उम्मीद थी कि ये ट्रेड खत्म होगा पर वो ट्रेड और बढ़ा है
minimum demand that we our leader floor leader had put to the party legislative speaker is that we should be allowed a discussion on it and we were not allowed on it so the major protest is regarding the throat of democracy being not allowed to voice their opinion
हमारी मांग है कि चीन के मामले पर संसद में चर्चा हो जो सरकार ने चुप्पी साध ली है सरकार ने मौन व्रत धारण कर लिया है उससे जो विपक्ष परेशान वो कहता है आप कुछ तो बताओ पूरा देश चीन के इस मामले पर, सीमा सुरक्षा के मामले पर आपके साथ है।
सामाजिक ध्रुवीकरण को प्रोत्साहन दिया जा रहा है और राजनीतिक तानाशाही हकीकत बन गई है और इससे भारत और हमारे लोकतंत्र को बहुत खतरा है, टूटने की संभावना बड़ी है।
डिमांड यही है कि सदन में चर्चा चाहते हैं, जो चाइनीज आक्रमण कर रहा है उसके बारे में सदन को इन्फॉर्मेशन दो, ताकि सदन के ओर से सारे देश के लोगों को मालूम हो। यही चर्चा अगर नहीं हुई, एक तरफा उत्तर हुआ, तो उसका क्या मतलब है? बस
स्मृति ईरानी ये कह रही है कि कांग्रेस के नेता खुश होते हैं बहुत आर्मी की इंसल्ट।
देखो, उनके स्मृति ईरानी क्या बोली वो नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, मैं जो चाहता हूँ वो बोला।
Now, going back to the other big story that we've been tracking here on Republic TV since this morning, in a fresh announcement, the Taliban's Ministry of Higher Education has banned women from universities. As per this latest order, the higher education will be suspended for women until further notice. Now, first, of course, it was gyms and parks that women were banned from. Now, the Taliban has deterred women from pursuing higher education. Here's more. All right, just to tell our viewers what has happened, do remember that earlier, of course, the Taliban in its edict had banned girls who were studying in middle school or high school either. Thereafter, now they seem to have extended this ban to universities as well. This comes even as the world, of course, has slammed this move. However, questions are being raised as to whether world powers are doing enough to stop the Taliban from moving. Okay, I think we've got Bharat Afghanpur live from Afghanistan on this, joining us right now. Bharat Afghanpur, are you there with us?
Yes, I listen to you.
Yes. So, Bharat Afghanpur, to begin with, tell us what this edict really means. Now, the timing of it is extremely interesting. It comes after girls who were in universities actually took their exams, and thereafter, the Taliban has now come out with this new ruling.
Thanks to question. And the first time many question was about that. Why the Taliban closed schools, but higher education have continued, and they have not a problem with women's education in the higher classes. And now they've like a symbolic movement. They invite the girls to school for taking exam, and that was not always they take the exam. And after that, some girls come and take the exam. Many question was about that. If they want to close the schools, why they not close the higher education in the private and republic universities? And after that, absolutely, they have not expression about this decision, and they announced it last night with the formal letter that we close the universities. Until that, we announced a new decision about this.
Right, Mr. Afghanpur, the world, of course, and the US has condemned this move by the Taliban, but do people in Afghanistan feel very let down by powerful European and Western countries, because it does appear that they haven't done enough to stop the Taliban?
And the people of Afghanistan, and after the 24 years now, when they learn how to living in the modern country and a modern education system, and many people in a youth generation educated, and naturally Afghan people post universities in India and Turkey, and now they are working as a teacher in the public universities. Sure that Afghan people about this decision have a very powerful reaction, but always Taliban reaction with the weapon, and they afraid the people, and people can show that decision to change this situation. It's impossible to talk with a person have talking with with a weapon.
Right, absolutely. So you are saying that there is a kind of desperation that's there among the Afghan people as the Taliban continues with its brutal rule. But Mr. Afghanpur, obviously this is going to take Afghanistan's women back decades, if not centuries, because they're not allowed essentially to study after primary school. Is that understanding correct?
The Afghanistan Women's Society always have a movement, and they have demonstrations for the change this unlogically decision of the Taliban government. But unfortunately, they make a new program that women can show their objection about the decision of the Taliban government, and now the women can have a demonstration for this logical decision. Last night, after that, they announced the decision of the Taliban government, and the morning when I have come to office, they create a new checkpoint with the security special forces and the roads and next to schools and universities, that if women as objection, they have a demonstration in the Kabul city, they don't take the permission, and they push it down that to leave the area. And it's true that they absolutely don't want to listen to any person. Maybe that's the man or woman. They only want to decide it, only the Taliban can decide it about this situation. And other people of Afghanistan, if they have not like a Taliban thinking style, and like them, they have
right.
They can talking about this decision. And now the situation showed that the people are arrested and living in this country as a person living in the prison.
Right. Mr. Bare Afghanpur, appreciate your speaking to us on Republic TV. Thank you very much for joining us, and we hope, of course, the world can do enough to stop what's happening in Afghanistan. You are watching Republic TV, and still to come, Mansukh Mandavia writes to Rahul Gandhi and Ashok Gehlot, says follow COVID norms or stop the Yatra. And the NIA report makes a sensational disclosure, says the PFI members are linked to ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Stay with us as we get you more.
An unshakable belief, a 360-degree holistic model of development, and a strong team of 300 people is transforming millions of lives in rural Maharashtra.
build hope, we build aspiration, we allow them, we give them the tools with which to dream.
Catch the second episode of Swadesh Foundation's Swase Bane Des this weekend only on Republic TV.
Your favorite service provider, 10, which gets you the best of entertainment, is back with something very special.
अभी मजा आएगा ना भिड़ो.
Your 3 favorite movie channels are bringing in super blockbuster films with features like wider picture and crystal clear sound straight to your home.
Wow. Oh, I love that expression.
To subscribe to your favorite channels, contact your local cable TV operator today or call 10 toll-free number 1-800-419-2020 now.
India welcomes those who further India's pride across the globe. Indian diaspora, partners of New India's growth journey in Amrit Kaal. Come and be a part of the 17th Pravasi Bharati Divas from 8th to 10th January 2023 at Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. For registration, log on to pbdindia.gov.in.
Magnificent picture, magnificent sound, magnificent experience, Magnifique. High performance TVs by Aiwa Japan, now in India.
Top headlines at 12:30. Chinese troops pushed back. Government sets records rate, but opposition politics continues. Health Minister writes to Rahul Gandhi and the Rajasthan Chief Minister says follow COVID norms or stop the Yatra. Brazen violation of COVID norms at Rahul's Yatra. BJP now calls it COVID Jodo Yatra. Union Health Minister reviews COVID situation as cases witness surge in multiple countries. NI reports make sensational disclosure, says PFI members linked to ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Another aggressive move by the Taliban bans women from universities and higher education. And starting with our top focus this hour, the Union Health Minister has now written to Rahul Gandhi as well as the Rajasthan Chief Minister over the breach of COVID norms during the Bharat Jodo Yatra. In fact, a host of reactions also coming in. This, of course, in wake of the surge in COVID-19 cases that we are seeing in several countries, including China, and the latest, of course, being the notice that has been, in fact, the letter that's been written by the Health Minister to the Rajasthan Chief Minister as well as Rahul Gandhi over the Bharat Jodo Yatra, which is being carried out. The visuals there which show how the COVID norms have gone for a complete toss. This at a time when COVID surge is being seen in several of those countries. In fact, this letter that's been written to Rahul Gandhi, where the Health Minister has said that all participants must be vaccinated and that there has been a brazen violation of COVID norms and no protocols per se are being followed in Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra. This even as COVID cases are on a rise in several states, including Rajasthan. First up, let's listen into that reaction coming in from the Union Minister Anurag Thakur on the letter that's been written by the Health Minister to Rahul Gandhi.
होता है क्या एक परिवार सब प्रोटोकॉल से ऊपर है? ये तो मैं मान सकता हूं कि आज भी गांधी परिवार में कांग्रेस के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष को ज़्यादा एक परिवार को मान्यता मिलती है, लेकिन देश का प्रोटोकॉल, कोविड का प्रोटोकॉल तो उनको फॉलो करना पड़ेगा। आखिर क्या कारण है कि आज भी एक पार्टी, एक राजनीतिक दल एक परिवार तक अपने आप को सीमित रखता है और उसके लिए सारे प्रोटोकॉल तोड़ने के लिए भी तैयार होता है?
All right, Harsha is also joining us live, who followed this meet that was shared by the Health Minister. Harsha, if you could give us more details on this COVID review meet that was shared by the Health Minister.
Yes, Samiksha, right now we're reporting from outside the Health Ministry. I would like to show you the visuals as right now the meeting is going inside Health Ministry. All the health experts, senior health experts who have already worked in the COVID situation are here in the meeting, from INSACOG, from NTA, from VK Paul, NK Arora to the AIMS Director to the health officials of the country, along with Union Minister Mansukh Mandaviya are in the meeting. And very important meeting because Health Ministry wants to be very sure regarding the preparedness and the situation and issuing the guidelines for the entry in our country from several points, be it the civil aviation, be it the airport regulation and guidelines which could be issued after this meeting, and the port entries as well. Now we are learning from our sources that after this meeting the APHO, Assistant Public Health Officer, could be asked to issue the guideline to the aviation and to the port. For that, the guidelines and testing, tracking and surveillance should be increased at the entry points for the flights who are coming from the countries where the upsurge is being seen in the COVID cases in China, US, South Korea and Japan. The flight restrictions could be imposed, and the restriction in the gathering ahead of the festival season, the celebration of Christmas and New Year, could also be issued. This is a very important meeting because India wants to ensure their preparedness before this new variant or before the COVID condition rises in our country. And the letter which Mansukh Mandaviya wrote to Rahul Gandhi.
स्वच्छंदी राजनीति का आरोप के लिए नहीं है सदन। हर सदस्य ने बोलते वक्त इसकी तथ्य को यहां रखने की पात्रता रखने के बाद बोलना चाहिए।
सर, मेरा फिर आग्रह है कि अगर मेरी से कोई गलती हुई है तो सरकार ये कबूल करे कि पेगासस का इस्तेमाल नहीं करती।
आप कहना है साहब, इन्होंने कहा है कि इस्तेमाल हुआ है, उन पर हुआ है, आप तथ्य रख दो। बाकी तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने तय कर लिया भाई, बदनामी नहीं है आपके नेता की तरफ।
आदेश दीजिए सर,
तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं?
आप आदेश दीजिए, हम आपके आदेश के अनुसार आप जो भी आपको लगता है कि सदन की मर्यादा का अगर मैंने कोई उल्लंघन किया है तो आप आदेश दीजिए। लेकिन यहाँ पे सर हम जो भी हम बात रखते हैं जिम्मेवारी से रखते हैं।
माननीय एक मिनट माननीय सदन उच्च सदन है और उच्च सदन में हम अपनी बात को तथ्यों प्रमाणों के साथ रखें तो सदन की मर्यादा बढ़ती है। ये मेरा आग्रह है।
धन्यवाद सर। दूसरा मैं बोल रहा था कि हमको इंटेलिजेंस पे, हमको सर्वेलेंस, जो बात जहां से उठी है, हम ये जानना चाहते हैं कि आपने कौन सी आधुनिक सर्वेलेंस का इस्तेमाल किया है और कौन सी आधुनिक सर्वेलेंस के द्वारा अपने बड़े बड़े माफियाओं को पकड़ा है, ये हमें बता दीजिए। तीसरी हमारी बात है फाइनेंशियल ट्रैकिंग। फाइनेंशियल ट्रैकिंग आपने कौन से इंस्ट्रूमेंट आपने लगाए हैं? क्योंकि ये जो सारा नार्को ट्रेड को लेके जो सारे करोड़ों पैसे हैं, कैसे जा रहे हैं, कहां से जा रहे हैं? क्या ये क्रिप्टो से हो रहा है? क्या ये बैंक अकाउंट से हो रहा है? क्या ये बेनामी से हो रहा है? तो फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शंस पकड़ने के लिए कौन से वो बड़े बड़े लोग हैं, उसके लिए आपने सरकारें क्या की है? जब 2 और पॉइंट है, फिर मैं बंद कर दूंगा। जन जागरण की हम बात करते हैं। जन जागरण की जब हम बात करते हैं तो हमको विभिन्न बेसरकारी संगठनों का हमको इस्तेमाल करना पड़ेगा ताकि वो नुक्कड़ नाटक और विभिन्न प्रकार के जन जागरण के अभियान के द्वारा गांवों में जाएं, जो छात्रों के पास जाकर आप उनको बताएं कि इस पदार्थ की नशीली दवाई हमको नहीं लेनी चाहिए। लेकिन ये सरकार बार बार FCRA को लेकर जो सिविल सोसाइटी है उस पर बार बार ये इन्वेस्टिगेशन करते हैं और सिविल सोसाइटी को भी आज ढंग से काम नहीं करने देते। आखिरी बात है ये कि सर स्पोर्ट्स की हम बात करते हैं, हम भी चाहते हैं कि स्पोर्ट्स बने। मैं खुद भी ड्रग्स को लेके अपने लोकसभा क्षेत्र में फिटनेस के लोके में दौड़ आयोजन करता हूं। अभी तक ड्रग्स के विरोध में मैं 2-3 मैंने युवाओं के साथ दौड़ आयोजन किया है। लेकिन दौड़ के साथ हमारा जो छात्र है वो जानना चाहते हैं कि स्कूल में कोच कहां है, स्कूल में प्लेग्राउंड कहां है। तो ये सरकार स्पोर्ट्स की तो बात करते हैं, लेकिन स्कूल में कोच और स्कूल में स्पोर्ट्स इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में इन्होंने क्या किया है वो बताइए। और
Well, Elon Musk may soon be stepping down from his post as a chief executive of Twitter. Well, that's the impression we get from his latest Twitter post where he has said that he would be stepping down from the post of chief executive of Twitter and that he's actively looking for his replacement. Now, remember, this comes after Elon Musk had earlier put out a Twitter poll asking people whether he should be stepping down from the post of chief executive, to which over 57% of the respondents had replied saying that, well, yes, Elon Musk should step down from his post. Now, it remains to be seen whether this is going to happen or not. But important to note here that since the time Elon Musk has taken over Twitter, it's been a whirlwind ride for Elon Musk as the Tesla stocks have shrunk significantly. Not just this, his wealth has also drained to a great extent. So that's the bigger question here, whether Elon Musk is going to step down from the post of chief executive of Twitter. And roundup of news in brief. Union Health Minister has now written to Congress MP Rahul Gandhi and the Rajasthan Chief Minister asking them to ensure that COVID-19 guidelines are strictly followed during the ongoing Bharat Jodo Yatra. Mandavia has also requested that if following COVID protocols is not possible, then the Bharat Jodo Yatra be postponed in national interest, taking note of public health emergency. Meanwhile, the BJP has launched an all-out attack on Congress over the brazen violation of COVID norms at Rahul Gandhi's Yatra, further saying that with no masks, no sanitizers or vaccination proof for participants, it's COVID Jodo Yatra, not a Bharat Jodo Yatra. Despite the government making its stand clear on Tawang, opposition politics continues to rage on. In the latest, Congress chief and LOP in Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, an opposition leader, staged a protest in front of Gandhi statue at the parliament to demand a discussion on China.
What is protest all about?
Protest is to demand a discussion in parliament on China. That's what the protest is all about.
The government is saying that a detailed statement has already been made on the floor of the House.
I think there's a distinction between a statement and a debate. What we are demanding is a debate in the House.
Opposition political parties are now demanding a discussion, they are demanding a debate.
Raking up the Tawang face-off in Parliament, Sonia Gandhi raised questions over the intention of the government behind not holding a proper discussion on the situation at border regions, further asking why the government is not sending out a financial reply to Chinese transgression. Hitting out, the BJP questioned Sonia Gandhi, asking what Sonia Gandhi's and Dr. Manmohan Singh's government did during Chinese incursions, further alleging over the years, Congress has only tried to threaten FIRs with the FIRs and tried to silence the media. Meanwhile, the NI has submitted in special NI court in Kochi that the banned PFI leaders in Kerala were in touch with some of the Islamic State and Al-Qaeda leaders. NI has also submitted that there is a secret wing of PFI working to prepare a hit list of people belonging to other communities, and their activities were centered around the PFI office. In yet another proof of Pakistan's role in drone dropping, the BSF troops shot down a Pak drone in Punjab's Gurdaspur district after the BSF troops fired 37 rounds. In a fresh face-off, the EPS called for massive statewide protest against the DMK government in a bid to show support and prove the strength of the opposition. Meanwhile, OPS has called for a meet of district secretaries to discuss the future of the party.
Price hike in the milk prices and many other basic necessities of people which they are deprived of these days. This protest is happening over 10 places to 15 places in Chennai alone and in different other places throughout the state as well. The state leader Edapadi K. Palaniswamy is making sure that this protest is happening everywhere so their voices can be heard out loud.
In a crackdown on gangsters, the NI conducted fourth set of raids in connection with syndicate of gangsters who were alleged involvement of gangsters in Pakistan's drone dropping conspiracy. Raids were conducted across 10 locations in Haryana. Meanwhile, two statues of former chief ministers of Tamil Nadu, MGR and Jayalalitha, have been placed near the Madras High Court Madurai bench premises after the cadres who found that a saffron shawl was put on the shoulders of the statue of MGR. A police complaint has been filed and the probe has been launched. We'll slip into a very short break for now, but do not go anywhere. Lots coming up on the other side of this very short break. Chinese troops push back, government sets record straight, but opposition politics continues. NI reports makes disclosures, says PFI members linked to ISIS and Al-Qaeda.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
क्या हुआ रोहन, क्या सोच रहा है?
रिया पहली सैलरी मिली है, तुम भी कुछ आइडिया दो, एक्सपेंसेस को कैसे प्लान किया जाए?
रोहन, एक्सपेंसेस के साथ साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान करना भी जरूरी है।
देखो, सैलरी का कुछ हिस्सा घर के रेगुलर खर्चे के लिए और कुछ मैं अपने लिए भी तो सोच सकता हूँ ना, लेकिन इन्वेस्ट कहाँ करूँ?
सिंपल है, एनपीएस में।
एनपीएस में? रिया अभी तो मैंने कमाना शुरू किया है, इतना आगे के लिए अभी से क्यों पैसे जोड़ूं?
वो देखो, एक एक करके ईंट जोड़ी जाती है, तब जाके एक घर तैयार होता है। वैसे ही अभी से पैसे जोड़कर हम भी अपना रिटायरमेंट सुखी बना सकते हैं।
बात में तो दम है।
एनपीएस कम लागत वाली फ्लेक्सिबल लॉन्ग टर्म योजना है, जिससे आपकी बचत ग्रो होकर पेंशन का लाभ देती है।
अच्छा, फिर तो मैं अभी अपना एनपीएस अकाउंट ओपन करता हूँ।
जो कल की सोचते हैं वो आज से ही थोड़ा थोड़ा जोड़ते हैं।
पेंशन है तो टेंशन नहीं। एनपीएस में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है।
Hey Rahul, what's up?
Hey, kicked about our first date?
Of course.
Benefits up to rupees 30,000 only at the Citroën C3 Carnival. Book today.
Pooja, you left the job and still so cool?
Bro, new challenges bring new opportunities.
Oh, really?
Seriously, Rahul, my entire house, now it's an online retail store. Look.
Wow. But money?
Few years back, I'd invested my Diwali bonus.
And now you have LIC's ULIP plan Nivesh Plus. Invest once, get the benefit of both life insurance and maximize returns based on market trends.
One sec, Rahul.
Madam, you are double cool.
People have been injured in a powerful blast in Khuzdar, city of Balochistan. Shopian in Jammu and Kashmir, 3 terrorists shot dead in the encounter. Sitapur in Uttar Pradesh, where a couple has been arrested for over allegations of mass conversion. 4 Brazilian nationals also arrested.
China, India, these two nations, most populated nation. China is in recent decades too much ups and downs. Now India, democracy, religious freedom. So now India's is a existing habit, democracy, and respect to all different religious traditions. That's India's sort of tradition. It's a very good. You should pay more attention about existing India's value.
A very short break coming up. On the other side, we'll get you the details as the health minister writes to Rahul Gandhi and Rajasthan chief minister says follow COVID norms or stop the Yatra. Meanwhile, NI reports make sensational disclosures, says PFI members linked to ISIS and Al-Qaeda.